I yield back.
Senator Warren.
So thank you. Thank you, Senator Blumenthal, and thank you, Representative Garcia, for holding this hearing today. This is really an important hearing and important to get this story out because all across this country, we have seen people snatched off the streets by masked men, and then they just disappear into a maze of detention centers. And meanwhile, the people who love them, the people who know them, their lawyers, don't know where they are, don't know how to find them, don't know how to offer any help. Now, many people in this country might think, okay, that sounds terrible, but I'm not an immigrant, so that can't happen to me. I don't have to worry about this. But under the Trump administration, we are seeing American citizens taken from their workplaces, taken from their cars, taken from their neighborhoods, and then held incommunicado for days. And today, we have in front of us 5 witnesses who have lived that nightmare. And I want to say thank you to all of you for being here and being willing to tell this story. So the question we're addressing today is, how does an American citizen get disappeared off American streets? And the answer is the Trump administration is just taking a sledgehammer to the law. That's how it happens. So what's gone on? Number one, ICE is prohibited from using its civil immigration enforcement authority to detain Americans. And I just want to quote the law here, must, quote, carefully and expeditiously investigate claims of citizenship and handle them with, quote, the utmost care and highest priority. That is the law in the United States today. So, Mr. Redis, you are a U.S. Army veteran. You were violently detained at your job site, even though you told agents that you were a citizen. Did any ICE agent try to verify your citizenship status?
No, not a single one. They asked me for my ID. I let them know that I had it. It was in my car, that I could prove my citizenship if that's what they needed. And that was it. They never asked me again. They never brought it up. They never cared to even make sure I was a citizen.
I have to say, that does not sound like carefully and expeditiously as the law requires here. So let's try another. Under ICE policy, detained people must be allowed to make a phone call within 24 hours. And usually it's supposed to be within 8 waking hours. That means you can alert family members where you are. You can let a legal representative know where you are so that there's someone there to protect your rights. Let them know that you're in ICE custody, and give you an opportunity to present evidence of your citizenship. Mr. Ramirez, you were detained for 4 days, during which time, as you've described, you were denied your diabetes treatment. When were you first allowed to make your first phone call?
I never made a phone call.
Never?
No.
So the 8-hour rule, the 24-hour rule, ICE just decided not to let you make any phone calls?
No, and no any calls, no messages, no nothing.
You know, I would like to be shocked at this moment and think you are the only person to whom this happened. But ProPublica found that since Trump took office, at least 20 U.S. citizens have been detained by ICE for more than a day without having an opportunity to call loved ones, in violation of ICE's own policy. You know, so they're not following their own policies. But it shouldn't take a phone call for a U.S. citizen to be released from ICE custody. ICE's policy is to promptly process people and add them to an online detainee locator system within a matter of hours. During processing, the agency has to account for a person's nationality, and it should be obvious if they are holding a U.S. citizen. So, Mr. Reichlin-Melnick, you are an expert in immigration policy. Why is that system not working?
The Trump administration has overwhelmed all of the internal processes through these politically motivated arrest targets. They are quite literally arresting people more quickly than they can process, which means people are falling through the cracks. procedures are not being followed, and the system is breaking down.
Okay, but you make that sound like it's just a mistake. Is that how you interpret this?
There are times when ICE may make mistakes. Every agency makes good faith mistakes, but the problem is when you don't have any interest in fixing those mistakes and when you let the mistakes propagate because all you care about is hitting high arrest targets and hitting your deportation quotas. And that is what we are seeing happen throughout the system in field offices around the country.
Do you think it's clear to ICE? They know what's happening?
Yes, absolutely. We have heard internally. I have talked to people who worked with ICE in previous administrations who are still talking to people at the agency right now. They are aware of this, and the pressure is coming down from on high to keep things going no matter the costs and no matter how many things get broken in the interim.
Well, look, each step of the way, ICE is failing to follow its own policy, failing to follow the law, failing to verify citizenship, failing to ensure phone call access, failing to process people in a timely manner. And if we're seeing this breakdown in the system for U.S. citizens, we can only imagine what non-citizens are facing. And all for what? So that ICE can meet some arbitrary numbers and be able to tout how many people they have arrested and managed to turn their lives upside down. I just want to say to all of you, thank you to our witnesses today. Thank you again to Representative Garcia and Senator Blumenthal for holding this hearing. Everybody in America needs to hear this story because what is happening is wrong, and the only way it's going to stop is if we lift our voices and fight back. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Warren.
Thank you, Senator. Next is Representative Khanna.